Winning. I've outsmarted you on a number of levels. Beta. Well, actually, King's not. Beta.
That was a hot mess inside a dumpster fire, inside a train wreck.
Keep your mouth shut. I'm going to go in there and slap your face.
You know, we're going to rise like the Phoenix. And
Get in my limousine. Ride on 85. Get in my Learjet. Woo!
One. Welcome to the Asterisk Collusion podcast. You're here with the King, and I'm joined by my compadre, the Grizz.
Woo!
How are you doing, Grizz?
Oh, pretty good. Could have been doing better in fantasy. There's a lot of great things that happened in week one, and we'll get to that. But the Bears were awful. There was a lot of bad football. I thought the Bears were terrible. Then I felt a lot better after stuff like the Jets game, the Giants game. I mean, there were some bad football games.
Yeah, nothing made sense this weekend as far as pro football goes, and yeah, I think even the scores reflect that. I think what was it? I'm fifth in points right now with 100.
Yeah, I mean, we really only have, I would say, three teams that did well this week.
Yeah.
Everybody else is just, had played bad.
No, you are correct about that. But let's jump into the week recap, and we can just go over how bad these teams really were. Let's start off with our barn burner of a game.
That was terrible.
Yeah, King versus Grizz. I was shocked that I even won this. 100 to 86. It
came down to the Jets defense and me benching Watson. That's all it really was. The Pittsburgh defense. Pittsburgh was awful again. Like San Francisco just put a whooping on them. I didn't see that coming at all. I mean, I had San Francisco in the game, but Pittsburgh looked like crap. I mean, I think everybody else on my team is just kind of normal fantasy stuff, like Adams getting 11 points and Chubb not scoring. Chubb looked good, though. I mean, the really weird thing is Prescott. I mean, the Cowboys absolutely destroyed the Giants. I know it was raining and all that stuff, but, I mean, that was a fluke game. And the Giants can beat the Cowboys. I mean, I think the Cowboys are better. But, I mean, Prescott didn't even have to do anything. So it's just one of those games. It was a fantasy write-off.
Yeah.
You had Lamb.
Yeah, like I had Lamb, didn't do a whole lot. Also, I had Justin Fields, not trying to bring up a sore subject, but he didn't exactly explode onto the scene like I was hoping against Green Bay.
Yeah, that's always a bad game to play for, just because, I mean, it could have been worse. Look, bad quarterbacks. Mahomes didn't look good. I mean, Watson didn't look good. Burrow was awful. I thought Herbert and Tua looked really sharp, but we'll get to those guys as we go down. But I'm looking at our wide receivers. I mean, I kind of won that battle this week. And I mean, I tell you what, Brian Robinson, I get another one of my running backs he stole from me. I really wanted him this year. And you got to be a little bit worried about, I think, Kirk and Pitts. I mean, Raleigh with the Jaguars has come to as advertised. They are targeting him heavily. And Kyle Pitts, with the tight end for Atlanta, and I think he's right on par to kind of keep up where he was at last year. Like I said earlier, I think they should just get rid of that guy and trade him for something. He doesn't fit in the system at all.
Yeah, I mean, while Pitts didn't have a great game, I'm not too shocked about it. I knew I was getting into. Kirk was a surprise. I was counting on him to be one of my big three receivers. 1 point is not cutting it from him.
I mean, look at your bench. It's funny. I didn't know that. Roshan Johnson had 17 points. I need to go back and look. I was so mad I left, I think, at the end of the third quarter, so I missed a lot of the football. But 17 points for your first game as a rookie. I like him a lot.
Yeah.
But that's impressive, 17 points. I didn't realize he had that many points. But, Chuba Hubbard, I wonder if Fournette will sign somewhere like the Ravens. Dulcich, the Broncos tight end, got hurt. He's going to be out. So I did have to release him. And Deuce Vaughn I found out is not going to be the backup. So there's a little bit of wiggle. I did get the other Rams wide receiver, which I can't even remember his name, but he played good without Cup out. There's some interesting things going on around the league. But yeah, you squeaked that one out.
Hey, I'll take the win at least.
W's a W.
W's a W. Let's move on to the next matchup. We got a grudge match here: Nate Gate versus Dr. Drill, and this really wasn't even close.
Man, drills. I mean, from a real football perspective and fantasy football perspective, it started off good with St. Brown against Kansas City, and that was where it stopped. I mean, T. Higgins didn't even really seem to play. I thought Cook, the Buffalo's running back, actually looked pretty good the other night. They need to use him a little bit more. I think Wilson will still be okay, but I would try to capitalize on that while you can, because he caught a touchdown pass the other night. I mean, Drill just got killed because of the Rodgers. That 69 points is kind of bullshit. I mean, it should be more like 90 points or something like that. So he just got screwed. Deontay Johnson didn't play great. He just had a strange week. Right now he's starting Carr. Nate Gate had a great week. I mean, Tua that was the difference. I mean, Rodgers and Tua, that was just big. Pollard had 2 touchdowns. Stephon Diggs, I didn't realize Diggs played. Actually, I'll tell you what, Diggs did not play well that game, regardless of the stats, because Allen was targeting him, and that's when those 3 picks came. Without Whitehead abused Diggs in that game.
No, I mean, well, I think he abused Allen. He kept forcing. I think one pass was straight to him.
Yeah, that's what happens when you open your mouth and Allen's trying to feed Diggs. I mean, Diggs is going to get some stats, and he's a good player. But I mean, the real kicker is he got 29 points out of his kicker and defense. And Nate had a good week. Like you're not going to have a lot of those things kind of roll your way. Tua's not going to score. I mean, he may be like, I wonder if Tua is going to be like a top 3 quarterback this year. Now after seeing that.
Oh, with Tua, it's all about his health. He was hot last year too, and then 3 concussions or 4 concussions into the season, he had to quit.
That's the worry.
Yeah, because you have Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddell. Those two, those are beasts. Those are amazing receivers right there.
Drill's in major trouble. Like Waller may be hurt. He's questionable going into next week. Rodgers is out. Deontay Johnson's doubtful. Gainwell's out, the Philly running back. And I mean, I'm looking at last week. He didn't have anybody else go off. He's got Carr, so the Drill's in a spot right now, and that's what happens with injuries. You lose 1 or 2 starters, and as we've seen so far, it's just fantasy football is a real weird thing sometimes. But kudos to Nate Gate for having a great week.
Yeah, definitely, and good luck, Drill, going forward.
Yeah, he's gonna have to figure things out. But Drill's a gambler. I'll never count him out. He's our current champ.
Yeah, I think he's got 6 new players on his roster, so we'll see how.
Does he really? I didn't see that. That's awesome.
That's right, dude. Just building from the ground up.
Don't quit.
No quitting. Let's move on to Huza and Oracle. Let's see. Huza won this with squeak this one out 108-93.
That's another ugly game. Again, that just came down to Joe Burrow being awful. And Oracle would have won that easily if Burrow just played average. Actually Oracle's team played very well. He's lacking tight end and a good flex. Let me look at the rest. He got 15 out of Philly, which is great. If Cup comes back and he can find a flex, he'll get Williams back in 5 weeks. I mean, Matt Jones had 35 points. I didn't realize he had played that well. My God, I need to go back and watch week 1 highlights.
I know.
I wouldn't need against Philly. I mean, if I was a betting man, I would have lost that all day long.
I mean, heck, I hope Mac Jones keeps it up and throws it to his favorite target, Barno or whoever I picked up there. 11 targets to him, so hopefully he keeps that up.
I tell you what, I didn't realize looking through, and we said this. Gerald had a good draft. He needs to unload and trade some of his wide receivers. I mean, one of the biggest shockers to me week 1, he said he's questionable now, but the wide receiver from Las Vegas, Myers, was awesome last week. Gerald's got him. He had 29 points.
Good
Gerald's
gosh.
bench went off. Mooney he had a touchdown, but Mooney had 15 points. Addison, the Vikings wide receiver, he looked good. He had 16 points.
Yeah.
And Sutton, he's got him too. I have him in my other league. He's a good plug and play, especially with Dulwich out and Jerry Judy out. So, he's got 3 viable, really good flex options. I would take London out. I'm sure he will this week. But Gerald needs to do some shopping.
Yeah, he does. He really does have some options there. But yeah, he's got to take London out. Probably Miles Sanders too, I'm guessing. I would rather probably roll with Myers and maybe Sutton or something,
I wonder what Oracle's going to do at running back. He lost Dobbins. I don't think he's learned his lesson yet, but he's got McKinnon and Jalen Williams. He's going to have to start Williams running back while Kamara's still out. And Baxter could be in trouble week 2.
Yeah, really. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Hopefully, hey, if he starts Mac Jones and Mac Jones puts up another 30, who knows?
I'm liking Gerald's team right now. If he can get lucky on a kicker, and he only got 13 points out of his kicker and defense, and as we know, that can be 10 points or 40 points. And if he hits on all cylinders, he didn't have a great week points wise, but like I said, looking at his bench, if he shops around and manages his team, Gerald could take the next step.
Oof. Oof. Big talk there from the Grizz. I don't know. Pigs flying.
It's funny though, because Gerald, it always seems to have something weird happen to Gerald, or he'll make a bad trade or sit on something too long, or have a guy on the bench. So who's you? You're in the spotlight right now. You're on our TV hit list.
Yeah, you need to be making some moves, who's this could be the year you might break through if you just be a little savvy. And but let's jump to the next matchup and talk about unsavvy. We got Gatos versus First and Goal, and this is actually closer than I actually thought it would be.
Ryan, you got 39 points out of Dallas, which is I had it in my other league. I had a 30-point lead. It was the guy had Dallas, and I was like, I got this week 1. I got $50 in my pocket, and I didn't really notice till he had Dallas defense. I woke up the next morning, I was like, how the hell did I lose? And in our league, it's 39 points. My other one was 44. I'm like, you got to be absolutely kidding me! 44 points out of a defense, and this one in our league is 39. But if Ryan. This is hilarious. If Ryan has got 10 points, like a decent week out of a defense, look at how bad his score would have been.
Oh, yeah. It would have been horrible. He would have been below drill.
It saved him. His roster is awful last week.
Oh,
look at wide receivers. This is just awful. His wide receivers total had 14 or 15 points.
Well, look at it this way. Other than his quarterback, who only gave him 10 points, and defense, no one else scored in double figures.
How did Josh Allen even have 10 points? He turned it over like 4 times and had about 5 sacks. That looks like it'd be minus 20. I don't understand the points, because that's a lot of points to be taken away. For him to have 10 points blows my mind.
Yeah, that's kind of iffy there. It should be definitely more single digits. Got those.
Also, Goals lost Eckler, because what's the deal with Eckler? He's out for a few weeks, isn't he?
I think so. I think he's hurt. Let's see.
That's going to hurt him quite a bit.
Didn't practice. He's got an ankle injury. We'll see what happens.
Goals got to get thrifty and figure a few things out. I can't believe Michael Pittman had 22 points. 23. What a bump, because he killed me again last year. Again. Andy put up some points, but it was week 1. I want to see how that kind of continues. Jordan Love was picking his nose the whole game. There's no pass rush. Goals got a decent roster. If I was him, I would continue to play Love and bench Geno.
Yeah.
and just roll some new things and ideas. But goals kind of right in the middle, in my opinion, right now. He had a good week. Let's see if it continues.
Yeah, I'm not a huge Geno fan. I think you're looking at probably the standard issue for Geno. But Gato's looking at his bench. He's got Kieran Williams and Bryce Hall and Brees Hall and yeah, no, I think he's got some options to even.
Is he really going to have some cojones and play the Rams running back Williams? You think he's going to do it?
I don't
What
see.
does he have to lose?
Yeah, what does he have to lose for one? I mean, yeah, I don't know what his other options are.
I mean, I'm looking at every single person he had play. That is hard to believe. I mean, and I'm not trying to be mean. That is rough. And if you take Dallas out of it, that's rough.
Oh, it would have been brutal. But let's jump to our next matchup. We got LTD versus Sleeper. Now, this was a little bit more of a bloodbath. LTD with the high points for the week.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great score, especially nowadays. And you want to start off odd, and it usually translates to long-term success. And I guarantee you, when we hit week 8, LTD is going to be in the top 3 after something like that. But I like to look at the first 3 weeks and kind of see where people lie. I mean, LTD could easily have like a 100-point week next week. I mean, NTN had 21 points. Aaron Jones looked great. I think Jones is hurt. He pulled a hammy, so that'd be a huge loss for him. Bijan had a couple good plays. I mean, what really made LTD jump off the scene there was Aaron Jones and Brandon Ayuk. I did like Ayuk a lot in the draft, and he took him right before me at the turn there. So, I mean, kudos to LTD. Zay Flowers looked pretty good. I saw him. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking. That's what I'm taking out of his matchups. I mean, it was a good week for him. I mean, Mahomes was Mahomes. Actually, I'll say Mahomes looked really bad. He was overthrowing players. I know Tony was bad and guys were dropping balls, but he was throwing balls behind and over. He looked a little bit frustrated with Kelsey out. I wonder if that continues. And then what do you think about the Sleepers roster overall? Looking at his roster, what do you have to say about that, Coop?
Well, I mean, his roster is not looking too hot right now. I mean, let's face it, Cam Akers sucked. But we knew that was going to happen. Gibbs, I think even I had higher hopes for Gibbs going in this first week. But I think if I remember correctly, Montgomery just dominated the carries. It wasn't even close. It was like double.
Didn't I say that like 5,000 times?
Yeah.
I mean, I thought what Gibbs did was really good. He's going to be that change of pace guy. He catches the ball well. You run him 7 or 8 times on the outside, keep your defense honest. They have a thunder and lightning thing going. And Montgomery's a kind of running back. He gets better the more you feed him. In the fourth quarter, if you're up and you guys are playing physical, good football, that's what he likes. That's when he got that fourth quarter touchdown where he ran for 15 yards right down the middle.
Yeah. Jamar Chase suffered from like Burrow sucking.
Yeah.
Remind me this, like Amari Cooper didn't have a good game, but who did Watson throw the ball to? Because Watson had a pretty solid game, right?
He was a little bit erratic, kind of like Mahomes. He was throwing passes. I mean, he had time. The thing, I tell you what, I really like the Browns. Their defense is awesome. They got a great run game. And Watson still, I was watching him in that game on my red zone. He still moves very well. The linebacker comes out him. He will flush the pocket and just get upfield quickly. He's still got good feet. And I think he just needs some time to build that chemistry with his wide receivers. He's been out a while, but the good thing is if you're a little bit rusty, if you have a really good run game and a good defense, I think it's going to start clicking for him. He's going to get a lot of opportunities. The one I was actually kind of shocked about, I thought the Eagles were sloppy, and so was Jalen Hurts. I didn't expect that. And, I mean, it kind of reflected of Jalen Hurts' score 16 points.
Yeah.
I wonder if that will be something we see more of. I kind of wonder if Jalen Hurts will even be a top 5 QB this year after seeing week 1. I know it's week 1, but he looked kind of vanilla.
Well, I'll say this.
Got paid.
I think in the defense of Jalen Hurts and the Eagles, I mean, that New England defense looks stout. I mean, That looked like a championship defense. I'll say that. But yeah, it'll be interesting. He might roll with what's his name? Anthony Richardson.
I
Yeah.
mean, you could probably play him in different matchups, and we can get to week 2 after this. But yeah, we kind of need to speed things up, I guess, because we have 2 more, I think, don't we?
We just got one more matchup, but we will jump onto that right now. We got Tuna versus Magic Mike.
Oh, that's ugly.
Yeah, neither one breaking 100 points. Very classy here. And especially for Tuna, who had 3 kill, 43 points, still can't break 100.
I mean, his whole team was that. He got good points. I mean, his second best player was his kicker. That's awful. But I mean, I had Hill in my other league. I mean, he just put on a show. I was going to take Tyreek Hill over Chubb if he came to me. I love Tyreek Hill. He's just an amazing talent. So I'm looking at Tuna's roster, and all I see is Tyreek Hill. I can't get I mean, Dobbs had 2 touchdowns, looked good. I mean, he's playing the Bears. Russell Wilson played okay. I mean, I've said this before. We're not Lamar Jackson fans. I would really be looking to somehow unload Lamar Jackson, see if anybody would bite on that. Maybe even Najee Harris.
Mm-hmm.
Dallas Goedert didn't even score. He played. That's extremely.
He didn't even catch a ball. Mm-hmm.
That's odd. I mean, looking at Magic's Mike's team, we like his starters. Justin Jefferson was Justin Jefferson. He's going to do that every week. Waddle had a bad game. It's just because I think Tyreek Hill just went off. Herbert was Herbert. Mixon kind of does like these 10, 15-point weeks, and Swift is terrible.
Yeah, that was garbage.
I think my eyes are on Philly right now. I want to see if they're just kind of flat. Maybe they got some egos and they cashed in. Are they soft? We'll see. But they won week 1. But I mean, looking at their stats here, they almost lost. I mean, New England put up a fight.
Oh yeah, I mean, New England looked really good. I'm kind of wondering. I'm hoping New England keeps that momentum going. I mean, yeah, it'd be very interesting. But let's
Algier 26 points. I didn't even realize it. I knew he played good, but better than Bijan. There may be some thunder and lightning. I mean, Magic might need to be considering putting Algier in his flex.
I think he is actually. The little birdie this afternoon told me he might be.
That's like you can't. I mean, you can't deny that.
Yeah.
And, the commission doesn't know who he is, Mr. BYU, 1,000-yard rookie running back. So I think people's eyes and ears are on Bijan and Algier. That's a good running back tandem down there.
Exactly. Well, hey, let's jump into week 2 real quick. Let's kick it off with the first matchup. I got the King myself versus Tuna.
All right, let me see this here. Ooh, got Tyreek. This will be a close game. I mean, Yahoo got you projected. I mean, it's just kind of funny to look at it because, I mean, Goddard still projected at 10 points. You got to wonder I think the Eagles are going to bounce back fantasy-wise this week. They have to, because if they don't by week 2, them being that good, that's a little bit of a worry. Let's see what you got here. I mean, Pitts and Bourne, Pierce, White should have a really good day against Chicago. Lamb or Brown should be good. I don't know what Fields is going to do, honestly. Looking at it, you bench Kirk. Denver's got a good run defense. I would put Robinson as your flex, but
well, I'm gonna ride the hot hand. Bourne had New England had a great game, and Bourne had 11 targets.
That's good.
Yeah, I mean, if Mac Jones is real this year and Bourne's his boy, I'll go with that. He had 6 receptions, 2 TDs. Let's see if he's got the hot hand. I'm ready to roll.
I'm going to go against what Yahoo says and give the W to you because I don't think Tyreek Hill is going to repeat that. They're playing against New England at New England. I think the rest of his team is flat right now, and I could see him going around 100 points again, and you just edging him out a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm curious what Fields does. Like as you mentioned before, the Green Bay game, that's a tough game for any Bears quarterback. But this is Tampa Bay. If he's going to have a good year, this is a team he should light it up on.
And I could see CD Lamb and Brown having probably each like 20+ point weeks. I think that's good. I mean, the Jets will probably do a better job against Lamb. AJ Brown's going to kill Minnesota. I can guarantee you that.
I hope so. Yeah. All right. Well, let's move on. We're going to go to Drill versus you, actually.
So this guy here, Drill's in trouble looking at week 1. I'm playing Watson this week. I think, and after looking at Pittsburgh's defense, I wasn't too thrilled, and I like that. He's actually, I think Chubb had 5 or 6 catches last week, so I might be a little combination for the Grizz watching the Chubb. I think Devontae Smith will play very good against Minnesota. I don't really have anything else. Everybody else in my roster is kind of average right now. Drill had T. Higgins who did nothing, so that scares me. So he'll probably bounce back. What do you think about Derek Carr versus Carolina? I mean, that's an interesting matchup.
I would be. You know what? I'm actually thinking Carr might have a solid game. Like I could see him having a 25-point game against Carolina. Carolina's actually lost J.C. Horn, or I'm not for I don't know how long, but he won't be playing this game. So their DBs are kind of beat up. Overall, Carolina's just not that great of a team right now. And Carr to Olave could be really hot.
Yeah, I'm looking at his roster. I think it really comes down to St. Brown having a really good week and him maybe getting some touchdowns out of somebody like A.J. Dillon. And then if Waller doesn't play for the Giants, he's in real big trouble. But judging that, I said Devontae Adams is questionable, but he's a veteran. He's one of those guys who seems to always be on the injury report. But I'm kind of leaning towards myself on that one.
I'll give it to you. Why not? Chubb's always a stud, could be a stud. You did have the highest scoring tight end this past week in TJ Hawkinson with, what was it, 9 points or 9.5 points?
There you go, tight ends rock.
God, our league says stupid.
Preach it, Coop.
That's right. Well, that's another rant for another day. But
who got next?
Let's see. I got Ohuza versus LTD, the last week's point winner, and the team you think that is got a chance to be something special this year.
No, these are, in my opinion, the 2 hottest teams right now. I mean, they're up there. I would say 2 of the teams I like a lot. There's 4 teams I do like a lot that seem to have an advantage right now, but it can change in a heartbeat. LTD had a great week 1. I think he's going to take, and I'm not trying to hate, he could be in trouble a little bit in week 2. I don't think Aaron Jones is going to play. I think the Packers are definitely going to have a different ball game or different approach because they're not playing the Bears. Patrick Mahomes versus Jacksonville, that's kind of an oddball one. He's got a lot of division games here. Godwin versus Chicago. Actually, Godwin should do very well against Chicago. Robinson versus Green Bay. I'm not crazy about that one. NTN versus Kansas City. That's like my favorite matchup on his team this week. And again, I'm looking at, like, I mean, who's has got to do some game management.
Yeah,
and I feel like if Huza loses this week, it's going to be on Huza, not LTB. I can see his bench doing well again. Huza, and this, I mean, LTD's got a 10-point spread. But I mean, as it sits, because I just feel like Huza's going to leave points on the bench, and because of that, I'm going to give the W to LTD.
I couldn't agree more, actually. Yeah, especially with I'm still seeing Miles Sanders in that lineup. You know, I think it's true split backfield with him and Chuba, and on a bad team. I mean, it's not like they're going to be running.
Actually, I was thinking about that too. I drafted Chuba so late. I did not see any real difference between Miles Sanders and Chuba.
Exactly.
Watching the game.
Not at all.
Interchangeable. Yeah.
So, I mean, I would be trying something different other than Sanders. I'll say that much. But let's jump ahead. We got about like 9 minutes left.
All right.
let's see. We got first and goal versus sleeper.
I'm going to keep it quick here. They got sleeper at 123. That's a lot of points.
Yeah.
It seems like everybody's point totals going down. Ridley looked awesome. Olave. I would bench Gino if I was goal here. Eckler. The thing is, I think if Eckler is out, and that's what it looks to be, he's got a problem. I'm gonna give it to sleeper this week. I think the Eagles are going to bounce back. I think the Bengals are going to bounce back, and I think he's going to get some solid production somewhere. So I mean, when I say somebody's going to win, I'm not saying this is going to be a blowout, but I'm just kind of looking at sleeper and think he's got a stronger hand this week.
Yeah, I don't know if Goal has set his lineup just yet. I would be looking to start Love over Gino, and then get Eckler out of the lineup. See where Eckler stands closer to game time.
Yeah, I mean, I would move Madison into where Eckler is, and I would put like Pittman in.
Pittman, yeah,
and start Love. So it depends what he does. It's really hard because you don't know what people are thinking. But what I'm looking at in paper and starting lineups now, they could change easily. But right now, I'm kind of leaning towards sleeper this week.
nah, I'm gonna go Goal with the idea that he's gonna adjust his lineup some, because I think if he makes some of those adjustments, I don't know. I mean, Sleeper's team was kind of flat last week. Maybe it bounces back, but I just don't think every player was going to bounce back. So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Who's
Let's
next?
see. We got Gatos versus Magic Mike. The bye week for Magic Mike.
This is where I think Ryan either gets back or just throws in the towel. And you can see right now, he may be throwing in the towel. He's got 3 empty spots on his roster, which says a lot because we know how he operates. He's probably saying, "What does it matter? Who I can play anybody. They're all going to suck." So
this is very true. True.
His roster, it's just really hard to lean on him to any degree. Honestly, I hate to hate on him, but I'm going Magic Mike. It's not really a hard one for me right now.
No, it's definitely Magic. Magic got this locked up. I mean, Herbert, Jefferson right there. You're going to get good points. He's moved Algier in his lineup. I think that's good.
Yeah, I think the only way Gatos gets in the fight is if Barkley and Allen hits Gabe Davis for 2 touchdowns, and he gets 75 points out of 3 players. It can happen, but I don't see it happening this week.
Yeah, I mean, maybe Allen and Gabe Davis start connect. I don't know. We'll see.
He got lucky with that Dallas defense this week. Maybe he's got some more tricks up his sleeve.
Well, they are. You better hope. Hope not. Well, I don't know. They are playing the Jets, the vaunted Jets offense. Zach Wilson could be just serving up interceptions.
We'll see. It'll be interesting. There's a lot of stuff going on in week 2. So what's the last one we got?
Oracle versus Nate Gate.
That's an interesting matchup, actually.
Yeah.
And we got Nate projects Yahoo projects Nate Gate winning this one. See, looking through here, what are your feelings towards this? I mean,
Burrow's got to bounce back. He can't be that bad,
I still don't think Andrews is going to play. Connor's questionable, and the Cardinals are just pure garbage. I couldn't believe they even put up a fight. And I think it's just as the season goes on, they're going to, week 4 they're going to have 4 losses. That's when I think it's going to get ugly with the Cardinals. They're just going to give up because they are garbage. I mean, if Judy plays for the Denver, I heard he might, and say Burrow bounces back, and I mean, he's got Pacheco starting. This is a weird matchup. This is a really hard one to judge right now. He's got Daniel Jones, who looked. I mean, he's playing if there's a game to bounce back, that's it. I mean, they're playing at the Cardinals. Tight ends don't score much. I mean, the thing is, he doesn't really. Nate Gay doesn't really have another running back that's a threat in his roster. Even like Connor is, I would just put Zach Carbonet in there and see what happens, I guess. But Oh man, I don't know on this one. Like I'm thinking because Nate Gate played good last week, and Daniel Jones will bounce back this week. I'm going to give Nate Gate a week 2 victory again.
Hmm. Ooh, Daniel Jones. Ugh.
I think it's bounce back a little.
I'm going to go with Oracle on this. I think Burrow's going to bounce back. I think Mike Evans could have a huge game against your Bears.
Oh yeah.
You know, Derrick Henry put up some points. I think Oracle will also maybe do some tweaks. Because he's got Pachenko right now in his lineup, but
This is a hard one for me to figure out.
I would be looking at Williams for New Orleans against Carolina. I mean, he might not. He might go Pachenko. Who knows? But and depending
on interesting because he's dynamic and a great offense. So like, it's never a bad thing to put a decent player from a great offense in there. He could. Pachenko could. I mean, he has the ability to put up 25, 30 points.
Oh, definitely. He does. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think he can maybe make some tweaks. I mean, he picked up Hunter Henry in whatchamacallit, the waiver wire.
New England tight end. Yeah. So I mean that's a good matchup. Nate played great last week. I could see Oracle coming back and putting up 130 or 140. That might be the best game of the week, our best matchup.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Oracle on this one.
All right. Well, that's all of our games. And anything you want to add about week 2?
No, I'm looking forward to it. I think it's gonna be awesome. Hopefully everyone bounces back, or at least I do. And
yeah, let's see some points overall. Let's get some excitement going. We got a great game tomorrow night, Minnesota and the Eagles.
You're looking forward to that, AJ Brown.
I love having players on national TV. You can just sit at home after dinner and just hang out with your friends or something and watch 2 of your players tomorrow night. And I got Devontae Smith and Hawkinson, so hopefully that's some good entertainment value.
Oh yeah, and it would be technically tonight since this is going to get posted tomorrow.
That's right. Well, thanks a lot, Coop. That was fun as always.
Oh, always. And don't forget, we're right and you're wrong.
Losers.
See you later.
Adios.